You know, there's no sense in denying the fact that the Great Wall Street ripoff rocked a lot of us onto our heels. For months we were reeling as layoff after layoff, closure after closure weakened our ranks. Things were changing so fast, it was hard to keep up. But one thing never changed. Our basic values never changed. Our undying spirit as a fighting union never changed. And the harder we got hit, the harder we fought back on every front. In fact, we never stopped fighting, whether it was the issue was our right to a better deal in bargaining, or our right to a voice in public policy, or our fight against predatory trade by countries where they were trying to steal our jobs. And you know, when I look back at what we've accomplished those past 3 years, I'm never prouder of our members than when I see what you've accomplished in bargaining. God knows, some of those employers saw this crisis as an opportunity to try and stick it to us. And time again, you took their demands for concessions, and time again, you told them exactly where to stick them. And it's amazing that in the midst of the worst economy in decades, the worst economy since the Great Depression, our members never backed down in bargaining. No matter how dire the circumstances were, no matter how serious the threats, when you think about what we've accomplished, what all of you have accomplished, what all of us together have accomplished, it really was awesome during the last 3 years. In paper, despite the unfair foreign competition, despite the bankruptcies, we stuck to our guns on successorship. Against all odds, we pulled off coordinated bargaining. We've gone from one company with successorship to now with more than 500 contracts since the merger that have successorship, and we literally strengthened our union by putting 100 companies under contracts where nobody, again, will ever have to bend over for the boss to get a new hiring agreement or a new contract when a paper operation is sold. We've changed paper bargaining forever. Companies can no longer whipsaw our members by doing economic bargaining location by location. You ought to be tremendously proud of what you've accomplished. Give yourselves a hand. The bottom line, sisters and brothers, is that our renewed solidarity in papers gives some of our members the best manufacturing jobs on the continent. And we've managed to beat back the odds as well in steel, because we stood up and fought back, even in these disastrous times, whether it was standing down U.S. Steel in Nanticoke or standing strong against their lockout in Hamilton, whether it was Servistall in Ohio Valley or Gerard in Ontario, we stood up and we fought back, whether they were trying to break their promises to us or whether they were trying to break our union, whether it was fighting layoffs or battling demands for concessions, whether it was a fight with Rio Tinto in Quebec or Potash in Saskatchewan, or standing up and fighting one day longer in my home local, in Sudbury, or in Voisey's Bay in Labrador, or in Port Colborne, against the miserable creeps who run the Vale Mining Company, the second largest mining company in the world. We battled those sorry bastards, every one of them, against tremendous odds, and we won. You won. Our union won. Because as people know, we're as reasonable as anybody when employers want to approach us reasonably and talk about how to benefit our members. But let me tell you this. Any company that's got its heart set on killing our union or hurting our members, any company like that needs to know that this union and its members will fight in solidarity till our very last breath, if that's what it's take. We'll be there one day longer. And we'll do that as well this year in Thompson, Manitoba with Valley, if that's what it takes. If they thought the last fight was bad, they better get ready for this one. The next time, and time after time, year after year, throughout the crisis, you fought against all odds. Did we win them all? Hell no. Did we do better in some than we had a right to? Absolutely, you bet. But in some, there's no denying. We didn't get as much as we'd hoped. Because many of you heard me say this often. There's no guarantee that just because you fight, you'll win. But there's only one thing that's guaranteed. If you don't fight, I'll guarantee you that you'll lose. And the other thing I'll guarantee you is this. As long as I'm your president of this great union, the Steelworkers will never lay down in front of a fight. We'll stand and we will fight back one day longer till we win. I take great pride, as I'm sure you do, in our legacy as a smart fighting union. But to tell you what, I'm never prouder or more inspired by what our members achieve than when I get letters from retirees thanking us for saving their benefits. No union in the history of the labor movement has ever achieved what we have for our retirees. Only the Steelworkers Union has ever bargained benefits for retirees who had already lost those benefits through bankruptcies and buyouts. Our demand for retiree health care protections from successor companies has given hope to retirees in their darkest hours. Their gratitude has been expressed in literally hundreds of letters. But one letter from an old-timer named Joseph from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, stands out in my mind, and I think about that letter often. After he received his VIBA payment one year, he wrote to us, as many retirees do. But here's what Joseph said. My wife and I have been blessed, and we have been in this assisted care center since she had Parkinson's. Now I am alone. This is a very lonely life, and I miss her so much after 60 years of marriage. For your check, I am most grateful from the bottom of my heart, from my very soul. And may the good Lord bless you and the Steelworkers, and bless you all, he wrote. Like so many of you who made payments to retirees like Joseph possible, I'm never prouder to be a Steelworker. I'm never, ever prouder to be a Steelworker when I know that we've given hope and comfort to the brothers and sisters who helped give us this better life that we had. God bless them all. God bless our members for standing and fighting back for our retirees. And God bless all of you for having done it. It's letters like Joseph's that inspire us to keep up the fight for what's right, no matter how tough that fight might be. It's the fighting spirit that inspires us to battle harder than ever to keep our members strong, like never giving up the fight against unfair trade. And on that front, we're not only outstanding, many times we stand and fight alone, like we do this very day fighting against lousy trade deals with our sisters and brothers in the labor movement, fighting against lousy trade deals in Panama, Colombia, and South Korea. No union can match our record or our fortitude to take it on, to stop more of our jobs from being robbed by unfair foreign competitors. They keep cheating and we keep fighting. But you know what? Lately, lately, we're the ones winning those fights. We won a case against Chinese passenger and light truck tires. And unlike George Bush, got two tire guys up front, like George Bush, who refused to lower the boom on China 4 different times where we had won at the International Trade Commission. He refused to take action. Unlike President Bush, President Obama stepped up to the plate and he went to bat for us and he levied 35% tariff on those unfair Chinese tires. Sisters and brothers, the impact of that victory was measurable. At Cooper Tire, which incidentally had opposed our action, they ended up investing millions of dollars and hiring almost 200 new employees at their Findlay and Texarkana plants. We also won against Bridgestone, Yokohama, and Falcon Tire when they sought to get permission to import unlimited amounts of passenger tires into the U.S. duty-free. But once again, our president, President Obama, he had our back. He used the trade law to refuse that request as well. And the story was the same in case after case. In a case in particular, we helped win in steel pipe, tubular products, and silicon metal. Our challenge to China's abuses secured our members' jobs. It secured our members' jobs not just in those facilities, but in the supply chain that supplies them, in flat-rolled steel, in coke production, and in iron ore mining. In the largest steel pipe case in U.S. history, we were joined by 8 producers of oil country tubular goods. The abuses had to be stopped. 2,400 of our members had already lost their jobs and been laid off. They were laid off because of China's cheating, illegal subsidies, currency manipulation, and their dumping. We not only won that case, but again, duties of as much as 99% were levied against the Chinese. Seems like an impressive number, but that's not the most important number. The most important number is that our victory protected the jobs of 6,000 of our members who fabricate that kind of steel pipe. The right-wing critics, our right-wing critics, they criticize and call our victories protectionism. If that means that this union will do whatever it takes to protect our members, their jobs, and their families, then I personally, and I'm sure you, have finally found something we can agree with these right-wing nut jobs. In the past 3 years, the trade cases we have won, have protected over 56,000 of our members' jobs, and we ought to be damn proud of our union, what our people in Washington do for us.